This was brought to you in part by the sold out Baltimore Music Awards. Let your voice be heard at the 2017 BMAs. Polls are now open for this 7th annual red carpet event honoring Baltimore. Log on to BaltimoreMusicAwards.com before December 3rd to cast your votes in all categories. Now, December 3rd is for voting. The actual red carpet ceremony is December 5th. BaltimoreMusicAwards.com is where you go. Ladies, you ready?
Oh, yeah, ready.
It's on y'all.
So, hey, this is Prissy Dame. This is Dead Woman with Love, our segment. And this is Prissy Dame. How you doing?
Hey, this is Messy Mia.
Messy.
And your girl True Red.
Hey, this is Queen, your homie, lover, friend.
Yes. So we already started talking about this topic here in Baltimore, the quote-unquote city that bleeds. There's a lot, that murder rate here, currently I think it's up to over 300, up to 300. This is a issue that needs to be not even addressed. We had to find a resolution. I mean, it's sad you have mothers who are losing their sons and daughters because there are females out here who are getting killed. You have babies who are losing their fathers who won't grow up with a dad. I mean, it's really sad. Yeah, it's really sad that our people are dropping left and right. You know, I understand that there's police brutality out there, police killing us, but I want to get off that subject. Let's talk about us on us. Because at the end of the day, we have to set a standard. And right now, the standard is our lives does not mean nothing. Our lives do not matter to us in a huge situation.
So they should take the billboards down. All lives matter, because, like, honestly, it's really bad. When if people hear me say, "Oh, I'm from Baltimore," they'll be like, "You're from where?" I'm like, "Yeah." So it's bad.
I mean, so this is my question, and we can't wait on our mayor. We can't wait on the chief of police.
The congressman, you just can't wait.
We had to take action. Like, we seriously do have to take action within our own city, within our own communities. And the thing is, what do we need to do? I know who was this? Tim brought up a good statement. He said that there's no activities for our kids. There's the only thing that is out there actually for our kids is the street. They took down the PAL centers. I remember the PAL centers back in the days, where you would go and actually you had a great relationship with the police community. Yeah. With the PAL Center. And the kids loved it. You had the what was the
Girls
Club. Like, now you rarely have things. You have some organizations out here who are doing stuff like what's the
it's a guy named Munir Bahar. And he's on Facebook. He has an organization. I think he used to be a part of 300 Men. But he has an organization, and he has an after-school program for boys. He teaches them martial arts. He's trying to start a construction school in the city. He had acquired some vacant buildings and rehabbed it totally, and it's a place where the kids can go after school and spend time and learn skills, and I think it's really beneficial. I think sometimes the way that he addresses certain things is a little, I want to say, people sometimes are turned off by it. I'll look at the comments and look at different things, just I guess because of the way that he addresses it. But I think by him being so passionate about what he is doing and also knowing how crucial it is right now, he just is like, look, this is real. He'll, one of his last posts, I think he said, how can you be out partying knowing that the kids are hungry or our kids are dying? And so people kind of take offense to things like that. And I think sometimes people will say, well, you get more bees with honey than anything else. And I think you have to look at it kind of both ways sometimes, because it's real out here.
Right.
And I think a lot of people you kind of don't pay it any mind until it hits close to home, or until it hits home, until you actually really have to deal with it. So, coming up with solutions and what we could do, I think it's big. If people could call in, if you have a say on what's going on or some type of input, or if you've been affected by the violence and the murder rate in the city, please call in.
Right.
So on live, ask your questions or give your comments.
Yeah, dial in if you have any questions or comments. 404-436-1277. Edward actually said something great. Once we get home right, we can work on other things.
That's right. That was my issue. The thing that I have to say is, the kids today, they are gone. And it's sad to say, they are literally gone. I worked in the juvenile justice system and I saw it firsthand. If you saw some of these kids' parents come in when they go to court, you look at them and you be like, there's no way they have any type of stability, any type of value, nothing. And I think it all starts from you legally getting your kids high with all this medicine you're putting your kids on. Your kids have ADHD and they can't learn and they can't concentrate, but they can sing every lyric to a rap song. No, they can learn and they can concentrate. So it starts with you stop legally letting the government drug your children. Because in the long term, you don't know the side effects that these drugs are having on your kids. And these kids today, everybody keeps saying no rec centers and no this and that. It's beyond the rec centers at this point, because only the kids that want to go to the rec centers are going to go to the rec centers. Right. So it's not about they took away the rec centers, they did all of this. No, you got to start at home. If you can't get these moms and dads right, the kids are not going to walk right, period.
Well,
I preach.
For me, I think that it started when this whole mess with your kids, it really started when parents stopped having the right to raise their children. When this child abuse and all of that, and you couldn't discipline your children. I mean, seriously, that's the reason that the homes are the way that they are, because there's no discipline. Mm-hmm. They have no respect for their parents. So when they go in the street, who are we? I mean, if I don't respect my mother, or if I'm telling my mother what to do or what I'm not going to do, mm-hmm. Who the heck are you that I'm supposed to listen to you? Why should I have to listen to a teacher who's not buying my clothes or who's not feeding me? There's just no respect. The respect is gone. Parents are trying to be friends versus being parents. But the reason for that is because those rights have been taken away. But the sad part about it is they've taken that away. You can't discipline your kids, but you're still supposed to take care of the disrespectful kids. So
I just think now the peer pressure today is so different 20 years ago. We might want to go to the store and take a candy bar and a bag of chips. Now today it's like robbing, stealing, shooting, killing. That's the new norm. That's the new taking a bag of chips. Mm-hmm. And I don't at this point, I don't know what the solution is. So I really don't.
So let me ask a question. So do you all think that the music has a lot to do with it? Because for me, I know for a fact we didn't listen to certain things. I mean, like everybody was talking about sex, but I mean, mm-hmm. Even down, I can go to let's use a Tribe Called Quest. Talking about Buddy. We know what he was talking about, but it wasn't out there. Things were censored. Now, you turn on the radio. They talking about sucking this, sucking that, popping mollies. That's the norm. So the children are listening to that and it's being embedded in their heads. And it's like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. It's just, it's really universal. It's not just, it's cultural as well. And it's not just, it's not just our city, even though we're here, mm-hmm. but it's broad across, it's everywhere.
Every metropolitan city.
Inner city
is dealing with the same thing. It may not be on the same scale as here, but you touched on a couple of different things. So for the music thing for me, I'm a music lover. I am like a hip hop fan. I grew up listening to it. And I also was in the industry for a short time. So I was there. And so thinking about the music piece, I always used to be like, it's just music. I was on, Tupac when he would say, well, this is music, when he had that issue with the Lord Sucker. Was she a rep in the Senate or some type of representative, and they would talk about how gangster rap and all this would influence you. But as you become older, you kind of think about, do you listen to certain types of music when you're in certain types of moods? So when you're happy, you listen to this. You might be sad, you might listen to that. When you're in the car, I think I read somewhere where they talked about people who might have gone to go out and bribe somebody or do something. What type of music were you listening to in the car on your way there? Or before you did that, to get you in that mood, in that mind frame to do what you're about to go do. So I can kind of get that, right now. And I think about it because when I was in middle school, I was listening to gangster rap. Every Friday, I would go to the plaza. I would buy 2 tapes. Mind you, I'm 12. I probably shouldn't have been listening to things I was listening to, but you have to, I think the foundation that is created, and these kids now can't really process the information that they're getting and also be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake.
Because there's no foundation. And that's where it goes back to. Until you get these homes right, you can't expect the kids to do better if the mother and fathers are not.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that you can expect that. And you can, I had a debate with somebody on Facebook the other day. They was like, they was a product of their environment. They sold drugs because that's what they saw. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if I was a product of my environment, I would have 50 kids. I would be on welfare. I wouldn't have graduated high school. I wouldn't have went to college. I wouldn't have done a lot of things. So it's not so much that you're a product of your environment. We all make choices. We all have choices. So I came from a dysfunctional household. Right. I came from that, but I did not let that define who I was or who I was going to be. So I mean, you go both ways with it. You be like, you can't be a product of your environment. And then you had people say, well, because I only knew this or I only saw this, this is what I know. But for me, it didn't do that for me. It took me in a whole different direction. My mom was on drugs, but my mom was a functioning drug addict. You wouldn't have never known, she loved the nicest things. And then when she got herself together, you still never knew that she was ever in that place. Mm-hmm. So like I say, if you can't get the home right, the kids are not going to get right, period. Right. I don't care if you put 1,000 rec centers in one neighborhood.
Right.
It will not make a difference.
Kiana said, look at the age of the parents. You have 16-year-olds with 28-year-old parents who want to be their child's friend instead of their guidance.
I just said
that plays a huge
I'm not even going to say that because I was a teenage mother and I had 2 girls and both of my girls graduated high school. One owns a business and one is on the dean's list at college. So that's not even an issue of a teen.
Well, that's for your situation. But for other situations, that's the case. You have babies raising babies,
right?
Yes. And they're treating them not as they're treating them as their equals, right? And that should never be the case.
So real quick, I had Stacy. Hey, Stacy, my cousin all the way in Charleston, South Carolina.
Hey, Stacy.
She said, when you know better, you do better. Education is the key. We need to find a way to instill self-respect and pride in these kids so that they will want to learn to succeed, mentorship, and more, I guess, positive reinforcement. Because I want to give a shout out to her because her son, I think he graduates this year. He plays baseball. He's probably about to get a great baseball scholarship.
Okay.
From Baltimore years ago, down to Charleston. But that's, when you know better, you can do better.
Right. Yeah. Call in 404-436-1277. Isaac says that the internet and cell phones have also crippled our youth. The ability to Google and see what you want, when you want, and where you want. That is the truth.
That's true because I remember we had World Book encyclopedias.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
And I mean, and if you had those in your house, you was you was kind of like the Huxtables or something.
Right.
So, but the thing about it is, when it was time for us to do a book report or something like that, and the older that we got, we had access to computers. But what happened to going to the library? I mean, my nephew, he doesn't. I picked him up from school the other day. No books. I'm like, okay, where are your books? Oh, they don't give us homework. What do you mean they don't give you homework? What happened?
All right, so
education is not
for years.
Education is not
city for years. No, I believe in homework. I do, but I also feel like that's not the biggest. That is not the biggest part of the day. The biggest part of the day is what's going on in that classroom. And I feel like kids, let me tell you, I taught special ed and general ed I had 4th graders through 11th graders. And my thing was, if I'm going to give you homework, I want to send you home with something that I know you can do on your own. Because every child does not have that person at home, that family member that's going to help them finish their homework, and, tuck them in at night and read them a book and make sure everything is done. So the bulk of what's going on needs to be what's going on in that classroom. And it's a struggle. Let me tell you, it's a struggle.
Shout out to all our teachers. I know the BTU Christmas party is coming up, so shout out to our Baltimore
I'm gonna need a ticket.
City teachers who deal with the kids who are.
It's real.
It's real. What do you say?
It's kind of like
hold on. Have y'all? I know lately, so I am hooked on Murder Inc. I'm sorry, when I wake up, when I get on IG, I'm sorry. That's the first thing I go to. So lately, there's been 17-year-olds dying.
All right, so that's for the people who don't know. If you're on Instagram, there's a page called Murder Inc. Is it Murder Inc. Be more, or is it Murder Inc.?
I think it's just Murder Inc.
I think it's Murder Inc.
Murder Inc. It is a page that tracks the murders, the violence, the arrests in Baltimore City.
Right.
And it is depressing. It is very informative.
But it's very depressing.
It's sad. I think I read recently, and this wasn't in Baltimore. I think it was in Annapolis. How a 17-year-old was shot in the head. He was with his friends, and one of them shot him in his head a day after his birthday.
Wow.
Yes, recently.
A day after his birthday.
So, hey, John. John said, "What happened to going to church when we were young? We all had to attend, and it was a must." You're right. You're right.
Church is a building.
It's a building.
You gotta understand, church is a building.
But it also came from the structure, the structure of the home. And I mean, like you went to church. It wasn't like something that you didn't have a choice, and you had to wear. In my grandmother's church, we had to wear stockings.
Y'all couldn't wear no red lipstick or Jezebel
because we was Jezebel.
Y'all was Jezebel,
no big earrings. But I really feel like and granted, church is the building. But
church
I do
different
feel like
today.
It's different.
It's church the new club scene. Like if your church is if the church don't have the foundation and they teaching and not taking the entertainment out of it, it's like them still sitting on the couch watching TV.
Right. So let's go back real quick to you were talking about Murder Inc., the page that I did not follow Murder Inc. I'll check it. It's on my search, but I could not follow the page because I didn't want it to pop up. I go and check. If I know somebody got killed, I might go and check it and just to see. But I didn't want to follow the page because I didn't want it to just pop up on my screen.
But you know what's crazy? So I follow and I read the comments and I see so much ignorance.
Girl, when somebody get locked up and it's their family.
But hold on, then I'm sorry if you are one of those people who blames the nurses and the doctors in the hospital for these people dying. You are crazy. They actually debated saying that it's the nurses' fault, the doctors' fault, the hospital. What about the person that actually pulled that trigger?
Right, or when they get locked up, free my cousin.
They blame the hospital.
Free my dummy.
Free
my dummy. Yeah. Then the person's a dummy, but I guess that's a term, a street term of dummy. But I keep telling you, words. I mean, words they're powerful. They have like you speak things into existence. I don't think people understand the power of their tongue.
They don't.
They think
we live in Murderland. And literally, we live in Murderland.
Baltimore, Murderland.
You see people posting into Baltimore at your own risk.
Oh yeah,
like come on, like if
we
today,
gotta start speaking life in these streets.
Yeah,
we gotta start speaking life into our youth.
Listen, this might sound crazy, but it's never. I don't want to say it's never too late, but we got to start with the little ones. Because I think sometimes by the time I taught in Baltimore City in some of the toughest schools. I taught in the old Walbrook building. Please believe me. By the time you 13 and you done jumped off the porch and you in the streets, you don't have a curfew, your mother can't tell you what to do. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a hard time trying to reach that person. But
I'm going to take it even a step further. I've been in the child care business since 1995. I'm going to take it a step further. By the time they're 5 and they have some type of control, it's already too late. Because at 1 year old, these kids are rolling their eyes, have tremendous attitudes that's unbelievable.
But the thing is, it's a learned behavior.
It's a learned behavior. That's why it goes back to the home. You gotta educate these parents.
Dial in 404-436-1277 if you have any questions or comments. If you actually lost someone recently, I mean, just period.
Right, or you have just a comment to talk about the violence that's going on in Baltimore.
Because I know personally, I haven't lost any family members, but a lot of those people that in the last 6 months, last year, I've known people who've been on Murder Ain't Murder.
The hot topic right now is the police officer that was just murdered. Because that was just murdered. I mean,
it's not the fact that he was murdered that's a hot topic. It's the value of his murder that's the hot topic. At the end of the day, we should all be at the end of the day, somebody was killed. So we should all want to know who did this
and why.
It shouldn't be it's up to
because he did this, right?
Well, but I say that the monetary amount should not matter. What should matter is who killed this man,
right?
Across the board for everybody, all 309 plus individuals who have died in Baltimore, Maryland. This year alone, 2017. We're still not in December. January 1st isn't here. And we're averaging close to 1 to 2 bodies a day.
And we called for the ceasefire.
We're making these funeral homes rich. You, Scrubs, who else?
March.
Everybody.
I mean, they're overwhelmed at this point. You know, and then it comes back to you have the kid. Then you want to set up a GoFundMe page because you buying your kids Jordans but don't have insurance.
Get some insurance. If you ain't that much money, let me tell you, my grandmother had an insurance policy on everybody.
For everybody. So call in 404-436-1277. Come in, chime in. We like to hear your voice.
But I
always said that. Look. No one has an excuse as to why they don't have insurance. If you got a cell phone bill that you pay every month on time, you can pay insurance.
That's right.
You can pay insurance. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So I got my cousin Brenda from Trenton, New Jersey. Hey,
Brenda.
She says church is a building, but it's the fellowship that you see to climb with other Christians is all in the mindset. Even though it's a building, more young folks need to visit that building. They need people need to feel like they belong. Whether you are really don't have a religion. I think we do have gangs here. They're not as bad as in some other places, or it's not looked at as a gang.
That we know of. Yeah, that we know of.
But I think people seek those things because they are looking to belong to something.
Well, what they're looking
for this familial thing that they may not have, because I've never had the feeling to want to belong to a group of people like that.
Well, but what they're belonging to is your VH1, your MTV, your Yo Gotti. I'm sorry, I'm not that hip. Your YGG, Tay, and all of them. That's what they want to belong to. So the question is, what are these individuals teaching and rapping about? Money, fast cash,
getting high,
Gucci. These young people can't afford this, so So what are they going to do to be able to get this? To be in the in crowd? These Gucci belts, the Gucci shoes, the Chanel's. Guess what they going to do?
You have the 13 years bragging about the amount of pills that they're popping. When I worked for the Department of Juvenile Services, the kids, they were just, and I worked with the males, they were saying how many pills they pop, the type of pills they pop. And when I would say to them, by the time you're 21, and they don't think, like, no, you're a replica of your parents.
So Kim, remember when right after Freddie Gray situation, we went to Penn North.
We went to Penn North. We cleaned up on Penn North. Yes, we did. Out there sweeping alleys, giving out treats.
Okay, so remember, they went into all of the CVS's and the drugstores. Everybody had the Bukes, they had the Perks. So that flooded our streets. That was probably about what? 2 years ago, I want to say.
As long as like 3, 4 years now.
And
not that long.
No, it's been almost 4 years. 3
it was 15 years. Yeah, next year.
So if you look at that, after that, the uptake and like the murders kind of started. If you think about it, I mean, we've always had this happening in the city, but if you think back 2.5 years ago, since then, it kind of got real hairy out here.
The cops gave up. The cops literally gave up when this Freddie Gray thing happened.
Do you think they gave up or they was just called out so they had to hide?
I think they gave up because I know some good cops.
Yeah, and
not all
cops are bad. Not all cops are bad. I know a lot of them.
Right. There is some good ones out here. And it's sad that in any industry that you're in, you're always going to have a bad seeds. But people focus so much on the bad seeds that they take away from the ones that's literally trying to do their jobs.
So
But
you talk about bad seeds and you talk about this murder of this detective, this officer. So if you look, I watch a lot of, like you said,
the Baltimore Rising. Have anybody watched that on HBO? It came on. The Baltimore Rising is talking about the aftermath of what happened after Freddie Gray.
Yeah, shout out to Jermaine. I know him. He was he's an officer in DC, or was an officer in DC. So shout out. You're right. Not all cops are bad.
Right.
You were a good cop.
Hey, caller.
Hey, caller.
Hey, it's Ed Wells. How y'all doing?
Hi.
All right. What I want to talk about is the father figures as well.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a big part. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, like how can we actually raise our children if we don't know how to say what I'm saying? So when you start the process, the healing process of Baltimore City, any city, Chicago, Detroit, any of those major cities, we have to start with ourselves. We have to start with home, and each one teach one. But only if each one want to learn. You understand what I'm saying? Like the music is so crazy, the drugs is so crazy. I don't know what they smoking on now. I'm driving out a car. This crazy smell. That's not what they were smoking back in the day.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? So this stuff got crazy side effects that, you know what I'm saying? And where they learning it at? When I was growing up, I came up off the street. I went to Hartford Heights. I went to Lake Clifton. I went to Hamilton. I used to sell drugs, but it's not the same. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like my big homies that get killed. You understand what I'm saying? Like they helped. They paid bills. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they kept us out of the streets. They would tell us to go to school. You know, it's time to go in a house. You understand what I'm saying? There's no boundaries. There's no laws.
Right.
There's nothing. The structure and the structure of the African American people is broken, and it comes from higher ups, and it starts trickling down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like one of the things I had to say is like this. I have my wife, and I say, look, we always have little issues, right? And I say, well, when you get a speeding ticket, you do what the judge tell you to do, right? She say, right. If you get pulled over by the police or the boss say do something, you do it, right? But when your husband asks you to do something, you get a lot of pushback.
Wow.
See, and then the children see that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, see what I'm saying? The household structure, the structure has to get reworked. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's about
like we have to
the
like
authority,
strip down.
structure in the household.
So
No, I was just agreeing. It's about defining the authority structure in the household. The man is supposed to be the head of the household. So therefore,
Supposed to be.
but you know another thing too. Even though my father was there, but my mother was the disciplinarian, and children play parents against one another once they see that. Oh, I can do that. I'm so if my mother said one, I better not go to my father and ask him and undermine what my mother said, because guess what? The answer was going to be no, and then I would get in trouble. So it's just like the whole dynamics of the household is just, it's just broken. It's just broken. But thank you for calling me. You have to be on the same
page. Like, I feel as though you got to be on the same page. Yeah, so what I do is, even though they tried, I said, did you call your mother?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying? Like call your mother first. Go ahead and text her first before we do anything. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm about to go back in the building, but I just like y'all show, and I want to say y'all just keep on going, and it's nice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the support.
Happy holidays to you.
If you have any questions, and I want to respond to the topic, it's 404-436-1277. The topic for tonight is discussing the violence, the murder rate here in Baltimore City. I have one person, who is this, Chris? We're not saying that, do you think maybe cops aren't the problem? We're not saying cops are the problem at all.
And we're not saying that.
Yes. The community want to go be police officers.
But then you got some of the cops who play the 50-50, who are from the community that actually, and we're not at this point, I'm not talking about the good cops, I'm talking about the bad cops.
Yeah.
Who use their community to scam and to do corrupt things in the community. So we gotta be careful. We can hire in our community, but we gotta be careful as
that's true.
But you can't monitor that.
I think it would be. I just think personally, I think it would be.
Call it, Jermaine.
So Precious said, if you don't make your child accountable for what they do, good, praise, or bad, punishment, you end up with children that will always feel they can slide through. It's smoke as that. The government is not accountable. Neither is the single family situation. My mom was a single mom, but she wanted something for me and my brother. She worked for it. She kept us. She was an IT. She was the it person, and we looked up to her. These kids have nothing to look up to.
Exactly.
You gotta call her.
Hey, caller.
Hey, caller.
Hey.
What's your name?
I recognize that voice.
Jermaine.
Hey, Jermaine.
Hey, what's going on?
Good. What you got to talk about? Let us know how you feel, especially coming from a.
I'm just listening to the police portion of what y'all saying as a retired police officer.
Go ahead.
Speak on it.
Talk to us.
I mean, what a young lady was like, you need to hire more officers from the community. It ain't so many kids in the community that want to be police officers. That's not that's not the cool thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what they want to do. Not saying that they want to be criminals or whatever like that, but if all their friends and their parents and everybody don't like the police, they're not gonna want to grow up and be a police officer and try to change their community.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You're right. But again, here we go back to
it goes back to the house. It goes back there. For the most part.
But do you think, all right, from a cop's perspective, do you think that the corrupt cops help the situation in any way, shape, or form when it comes to the murder rate, when it comes to the drugs in the streets and so forth? Like, what kid would want to be a cop with so much going on, and they see stuff going on in the streets in their homes, in their own neighborhoods, and then they get out here and see the cops pretty much doing the same thing.
Right.
Where's the role model? for them to even
I mean,
want to
but
be
it's
a
bad
cop.
seeds everywhere, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's not a good person. You know, you're gonna have bad seeds in everything that you do. You're gonna have bad seeds in church. You're gonna have bad seeds where you work at. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's good people, but you just gotta follow the right people and see people that are doing the right things and follow them, and not worry about the people that's not doing right.
And that's the truth.
That goes back to you. It takes a village.
It takes a village,
but it's no village no more. Yeah, because you will tell somebody, don't talk to my child.
Right.
Don't hit my child. Or don't discipline my
Hey,
child.
that's how it is. That's how it is. When I used to walk up to kids, the parents be like, "Don't talk to him. We don't like the police." That's the new end thing now. So kids grow up hating police officers. But at the end of the day, when something go wrong, when somebody do something, you don't call the police.
Exactly.
You're right. You're right.
Thanks, Jermaine, for dialing.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
And thanks for
okay, y'all take care. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
It goes back to the mentality.
Oh yes, we in a bad place right now.
We're in a very bad place.
Being in that classroom and with the kids, we in a bad place. And they knew me to not play with them. I did not play with my kids, and I kept it 100 all the time. They used to be like, "Oh, you so irky, Miss Holmes." But you know what? You never gonna forget me,
right?
Because you're gonna reach somebody else who doesn't care about you. And I'm telling you these things because I care. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see you. And sometimes I see myself gone for about 3 or 4 years now, and I see them on the streets, or I see them out, and I'm like, "Oh, you're doing good. You feel good." Now, mind you, back to that Murder Inc. page, scrolling one day, I look, one of my students saw him that day down Penn North, and he looked like he had been, he was always absent from school. His mother was up there, and she didn't know what to do with him because he was out there. Gilmore Holmes, he out there. I saw him on Penn North that day, and I'm like, "What you doing with yourself?" "I'm going to school." He ain't going to no school. He been out on the streets hustling since he was probably 13. At this point, he's 19. He got 4 consecutive life sentences.
Wow.
He broke into somebody's house that he knew, raped her, and stole some things, and that judge ain't played with him. He's 19. Life over. Gone. Done. Getting high, your mind, and when you think about it, so you mix some of these kids, struggling with lead poisoning.
Right.
Mix. Yeah. They smoking gas. They doing that, they popping Zans, Percocet, Bukes, everything. So when you go out, you in a situation and you faced with what I'm gonna do. Shoot him. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna shoot him. And you're young, and you're not thinking 10 years from now what my life gonna look like. So you're not even in the right type of mind frame to make a decision. But that's why you gotta look at it. They out here getting high, they doing anything.
Where's the goals or values? Like when I was younger, I would not dare steal or do nothing because I'm like, I don't want to go to jail.
Right.
That's cool.
That was a rush.
That was cool.
That was cool.
But how do you instill or invoke that fear into them? It has to be some type of fear that needs to be.
It's a whole.
They're lost.
The fear not really lost.
They're not scared.
But
first of all, the laws don't.
Somewhere though, because that fear is not there in them. You saw them when the whole uprising happened. They were on. Even though
they were still out there
a lot of different ways because we said, "Oh, they tore the city up," but they're the ones that we would have actually had a revolution. They're gonna be front line, but the fear is not there, and we have been let down. We were let down. So you think about the civil rights, and I'm not gonna say that they didn't do. They did a lot, but you think about like our parents' generation and kind of before them, everybody was kind of complacent. They were comfortable. Okay, we making a little bit of money. We can live where we want to live. Okay, that's not important no more. So now we left and we still fighting to this day. And so they did a lot of things. The system did a lot of things. So there's this welfare culture. There's this get the man out the house. The woman can take care of the house on her own. We gonna give her Section 8. She got welfare. She got food stamps. She good. Now the man don't need to be there. So look where we at today.
That's why there's a lot of fatherless homes.
Right. Let me send you to jail. You get caught with, drugs in the 90s, and a lot of the men going to jail for drug charges and things like that. Absurd amount of years. So now this what we left with. So what do we do? I think you got.
I say send their ass to the military. 3 strikes you out. You want to shoot and all that? Pop them over there in Iraq and let them go shoot there. Because at this point in the game, the 3 strikes, the times that they give them, the sentences that they're giving, they don't work. It's not working. The whole legal system needs to be changed. Everything is not working at this point. Everything needs to change. It's not even about the laws. It's about the policies. Until they change the policies, everything else going to stay the same because the procedures don't matter if the policies stay the same.
So Kevin said it's not enough of us giving back to this younger generation. We talk, but we don't give them our time. So true. I volunteer, I mentor. I mean, I was out there and I give back. That's what's up, Kevin. I went to college with Kevin. Yes,
we all have to do better. I think sometimes we get bogged down with our personal life, and you helping your family, and you helping these, helping it. And it's just like, Kim has been trying to get me back into mentoring the girls. I needed a break, though. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you.
And I think they're the ones that need it. The girls need it the most because they're the ones that's raising these sons.
But the girls in the schools,
the
fights with the girls. It wasn't always the boys.
Hey, caller.
Hey, caller.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Travis.
Hi, Travis.
Hi, Travis.
Hey, Travis, let's talk.
Hello.
What you got to get off your chest?
Well, personally, I got a few views on a lot of things.
All right, give us your best one.
My best one is they're desensitized. A lot of these kids are desensitized because they see everyone on social media getting the bag, and they think that getting the bag is easy. Because this dude that became a rapper, this dude done this dude done that. So it's like, okay, all I got to do is to get the bag. I can put a studio up in my basement in my man's house. All right, I sell a couple pills here, I do a couple pills there, this, that, and the third, and I'm going to come up. I'm going to get this. They see everyone with the fast money, and they have no general idea of how to work towards it. They hear about the hustle, but they don't know how to hustle.
Right.
They see the fast money, and then they don't understand what the word no means. When someone tells them no, you don't tell me no. Because why? In the house, they never had this. Nobody tell them no because why? Mommy working 3-4 jobs to put food on the table, so she ain't home. And then when she say no, you just get up and leave because why? She got little brother and little sister to worry about because you older now. And then they done listen to big brother. Well, he ain't listen to mommy, so I'm a dip. I'm going to do what I want. Then big brother out on the corner, he hustling, slinging. Oh, he got a couple little dollars. He got a Gucci belt on. I'm going to get with him. Lo and behold, now big brother locked up. It's like, oh, my brother this. And then your brother beefing with somebody. Now you desensitized to everything. Whereas though they cut all the funding to a lot of, programs that help kids. Now, they got football, basketball, and a few other sports, and everyone thinks that they the next LeBron James, they the next Randy Moss or something like that. No. You got to work. And you're not going to be that unless you work harder.
Yeah.
Some of the kids can afford to, and some of the kids can't. And then some of the dudes who are just not athletes think that they can hustle.
Travis,
they can do that. Some of these kids out here are genius.
You better tell them how it works. But thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. So we'll hit the next caller. Thanks, Travis. Next caller.
All right.
Hey, caller. I didn't call back. Travis hit a lot of
good points.
He really did. So Sheila C. Breezebank, hey, I used to teach with her. She said you can't solve a historical problem while you're living it.
Wow. That's profound.
So I'm a touch on that real quick. So she practices more science. And so, if you look at it from where she's coming from, how do we as a people get to know who we are and change this whole dynamic? If you don't know who you are, what value do you have? I always used to say, well, if I don't love me, how am I love you? Or if I don't like me when I look in the mirror, what I care about you?
Yeah, they
so why wouldn't I
definitely
shoot you?
They definitely don't value their lives,
Exactly.
not alone somebody else's. I mean, if you're able to kill somebody, you definitely don't value your own life. You don't value no one's life. Period.
Situations may come, you never know. But I'm just saying, it's overall, if I don't love me, like I can't love you.
But these kids today is the peer pressure of it. They have to keep that mentality that they're not afraid, that they're not scared. But a lot of them are afraid. A lot of them are scared. But they have to keep up that look. I mean, I've seen kids where I'm like a 10-year-old, and they was like, oh, he put in that word. 10. His mouth was so off the hook, you wanted to just take him and just shake him. Because it was unbelievable, but they couldn't put him with the rest of the population because he was so small.
Right.
But his mouth, but they knew this kid had put in work.
Hey, caller.
Hey, caller.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Alicia, and I was calling because I'm a mentor in Baltimore City. And what I find is that we have a lot of kids raising kids. We also have a lot of kids having kids.
Right.
And you got parents that have to work, whether it's a single family or a two-parent home. And a lot of times you find that even in a two-parent home, they might not know how to raise their children. Because when we go into the home and you ask questions, a lot of the times it's the computer that's raising these kids. It's social media.
Yes, it is.
It's always somebody else. And if you ask the parents about what is it about your child that needs to be fixed, they can't answer. Or if you ask them, tell me about your child, they can't answer. So you have this cycle that keeps repeating itself, and nobody's breaking it. But then you have us mentors that come into the home, into the community, and the moment that the children buck the parent and you step in and say, okay, hold tight, who's the parent, who's the child, then you see the parent bucks back at you, and then now you figure out, and then you say to the parent, this is where your child gets this from.
Yep.
And then you have parents that reach out to different programs that the government runs. Because you have a two-parent home, you don't qualify.
Right. Yeah.
So
Until your child gets sent to jail. Then you qualify. But when I reached out for the help, whether I'm a single mom, a single dad, or a two-parent home, help is help. Everybody thinks that because you have a two-parent home that you don't need assistance. But you do.
Could you tell us the name of your
because
organization?
you may have two children.
Can you tell us the name of your
Say this
organization?
again?
Can you tell us the name of your organization?
Michael Jones. Sure, Michael Jones Mentoring Group, Inc., right off of West North Avenue, 1710.
Thanks.
I'll get the information from your home. Thanks for calling
All
in.
right, thanks for
Love
calling
you.
in. Happy holidays.
All right, you all be blessed. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, caller,
Hey,
thanks for
caller.
calling.
They'll call back. Oh. I know you did 3 right. Oh, excuse
So when we hear that
me.
ring, it's like, bye-bye.
She was the one that called.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
okay.
Alicia.
We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate you.
So,
That is good to know. You have parents that have, there are some households that have two-parent households, and because they make quote unquote too much money, you don't give out the help. So then a lot of people give up.
Yeah.
You gotta stop turning people away because you think they make too much money. When you're not putting in everything that comes into the household and that they have to put out. So it's just sad for the ones that's really trying, and then you have the ones that's not doing anything, and you're offering all the help and they don't even appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
and she did hit something good. We have a computerized generation.
we do. We
That-
do.
and it makes our youth extremely. I've never seen a bunch of a group of lazy. Oh my God!
I had to fight with my son and my niece. They want to be on the computer. They on YouTube. They on, and that's. I mean, it can be beneficial future-wise. Bring them back in. You gotta bring them back. Let's get back to reality.
We have technological households now.
I had to today show my cousin how to use a mop.
Because the Swiffer then took over.
Where's the Swiffer? Where's the Swiffer? I'm like, Swiffer, no. Swiffer's not gonna clean this bathroom. I need you to get some water, get this mop. Well, how do you use this mop?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You gotta take it back to the basics. You gotta take it back to the basics.
Yeah, take it. Why can't we go back to the basics? Like, do you think that it would really be hard for us to go back to the basics? Like, what happened to the house parties? What happened to? And I'm talking about little kid parties. You know,
I had a bad experience. My
What
grandmother
happened?
came and found me.
Ooh,
Got on the mic.
What happened to instead of spending all of this money, having all of these little kids' birthday parties, spending $1,000? What happened to the a mother baking a cake and what happened? What happened?
These
Right.
They're
Bravo.
looking at these individuals with these 7-figure pockets that they don't have.
And never probably will have.
But you know what? The society is that way as well. You have, my girlfriend, we're gonna have a gender reveal party. From the gender reveal party, then we're gonna have a baby shower. Then we're gonna have, it's just
too much.
they have the DJs at the baby shower, DJs at the Christmas.
Then they don't have no money to buy formula.
Wow.
They having this. They spending all the money that they have on this elaborate baby shower, but then when your baby come home, y'all don't have nothing because you don't get the gifts you're looking for.
Or you don't have
so then
money
you mad.
Or you don't have money to get your other child the tutoring that they need in order for them to pass that class.
Exactly.
Our priorities. No, I'm not gonna say our because my priorities aren't
right.
But
the priorities
of
an African American home is messed up.
It's messed up. Our priorities are really jacked up, and that's exactly why a lot of our kids are out here struggling.
Yeah.
And in the streets, and all the priorities, mentalities, you name it.
So call in 404-436-1277. Let's hear what you got to say. Sierra, I see you're back. You have anything to say, ma'am?
Huh? Oh, 5 minutes. Oh, shit. We almost
Oh,
over.
wow.
We only got 5 minutes on this show. This ain't right, I tell you.
So let's talk about solutions before we wrap it up. So what are the solutions? What can we do? We had the caller call in and, mention our mentoring program. If we could all probably commit to finding a way that we can reach out, give back. I know, everybody works, we tired, we got our own family.
That's no excuse.
In what way can
we can't use that
volunteer?
excuse.
We need every adult.
We can't find it.
Every vibrant adult in this city to mentor one child.
I don't care if you have your own child. Bring that child.
That's the only
Bring
way.
that child.
We're gonna have to take them one
I
by
got
one.
my own kids.
Right.
Oh, hey caller.
Hey caller.
Hey caller.
Hey, this is Stacy. You guys are doing a great job.
Hey Stacy.
What's up, Quinn?
Hey.
I'm so proud of you, girl. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I just got 2 things. I agree with the lady that was talking about the military. These kids, they don't have any discipline and they need some direction. 2 years is long enough to know if it's good for you or not. In the meantime, you can get discipline, learn a skill, get a job, take some college courses. The second thing is just like they got that Murder Inc. or whatever on Instagram, they need more positive reinforcement. Moved to South Carolina, and my husband and son don't even like going to Baltimore because they think it's like the Wire, that everybody there is a drug dealer or a dope head. So I think we need some more positive images. You guys stay blessed. Shout out to the Magwoods. Thank you.
And salute you. Stacy's a vet, so.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for calling in, and happy holidays.
So we only got a couple minutes. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving, big turkey day. Gobble 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 gobble.
You have to make the sound.
Gobble, 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 gobble. Turkey. So, if we can we just hurry up and tell us, tell our viewers, what we're actually thankful for?
I'm thankful that I'm not cooking. So for everybody that's cooking, I'm gonna be real thankful when I come with this to go plate.
I'm thankful for my life, my family, my friends, just everything. I'm just grateful and
just grateful.
I'm thankful to be breathing. I'm thankful for my family and the foundation that they gave me.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you what I'm thankful for.
She checking for that gobble, gobble, gobble.
I'm thankful for life, health, and strength, a sound mind, and for God keeping my family. I am thankful for that because He is a keeper. Most to all.
I haven't really celebrated the holidays in a couple of years since I lost my mom. So this time of year, I just don't do nothing for me.
Me either.
You know, it's just
blah,
hard.
blah, blah. It's kind
Right.
like
She was the one that gave the worst gifts. You'd be like, oh, I know she did not just give me something that somebody that gave her from work. But now you look back, you be like, dang, I wish I had that now. You know, so you gotta love the ones that you have in your life now. Don't wait till they're gone, because tomorrow is not. Another second is not promised.
Tomorrow is always promised. We're not promised tomorrow.
Right.
Yes.
So be blessed. Stay blessed.
Be safe. Happy Turkey Day. Early
and
day.
Be safe. Yes,
and don't burn down your house. Don't look. Keep an eye on them turkeys. Don't be frying no turkeys close to the house now.
Right.
We don't want to hear you on fire.
Because I already went to the dollar store and got all my little takeaway things. I'm stopping past everybody's house.
All right, y'all. Be blessed. Stay blessed.
social media.
Huh? Yes, social media. So check me on IG, Prissy Day.
I'm Shaquin _ on a mission, SHAQUINN.
And I'm your girl, True Red.
I don't know what my name is. It's probably Messy Me. I don't know if it got underscore or not, but
It's
Messy
Me.
It is.
Ain't she messy,
With 2
y'all?
A's though. I was
Thanks
good
everybody
today.
for calling
Like,
in.
It was a serious topic.
Thank you so much.
All right, good night.
All right, thank you. Have a happy
Good night.
holidays. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, love y'all.
Mom, what more do you want from me? Oh my God.